let's talk free agents. Welcome back to the Team 12s podcast. I'm your host, Team 12s, and today I'm going to be talking about some players that the Seahawks should be offering going forward this offseason in free agency. So to start it out, I'm just going to be talking about the offense. I'll have a later video about the defense. I don't want to have a 17-minute video about free agents. Why would I make you sit through a 17-minute video? You don't got all the time in the world. So I'll give you an 8-minute, 10-minute one here, and then I'll give you another 10-minute one in the future. So to start it out, running backs, I would love to sign Leonard Fournette and re-sign Rashad Penny, maybe even pick up Sony Michel, but maybe preferably pick someone up in the draft. If you get Leonard Fournette, you get Rashad Penny. Yes, Penny has some injury issues in the past, but it's seeming kind of good there because he had that fluke injury with the wrist. I touched my shoulder with the wrist. That's not my shoulder, that's my bicep. He had the fluke injury with the wrist. He had the ACL tear. It's been 2 years removed from that. He's healed up from that, and he's a year removed from the calf injuries that extended from the ACL tear because your other muscles are going to make up for lacks of strength in other areas. So automatically, calf had some issues there. But Rashad Penny did great job. Adrian Peterson, I don't know what he did. He did some voodoo magic or something. He threw some pixie dust at Rashad Penny, and he came really good at the end of the season. And he's commenting on social media and stuff like he's a changed man that just found the Lord or something. So Rashad Penny, he could be legit, and re-sign him, bring in Leonard Fournette. You could have a nice running back duo there. Pick somebody up in the draft. You could have a nice solid running back group. With the wide receivers, Judy Smith, it's controversial, but he's a good run blocker. He's not what he used to be, but he can do solid in the middle of the field and maybe get you some yards. Nice 500 this season, nice 600, 700. Maybe you could do something solid there. And then another guy that could be good, Christian Kirk. He almost had 1,000 yards this season. If Kyler Murray doesn't L+ ratio fall off a cliff this season, then maybe Christian Kirk has 1,000 yards. And you maybe have him deep, have DK Metcalf in the middle, Tyler Lockett running short routes slant, DK and Lockett running this way in the middle. Then you have Kirk running on a deep go route or a deep post, and you can get a touchdown deep, or they cover Christian Kirk and then it leaves DK open. If they're both covered, then you can hit Lockett or even in the flat. So no matter what, you can have a really solid wide receiver group back to the days of being really deep and not just on the base level. If DK Metcalf gets hurt, or if Tyler Lockett gets hurt, you just have one guy and some Dwayne Eskridge and Penny Hart. I don't want that. I want DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Juju Smith-Schuster. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Christian Kirk. If DK Metcalf gets hurt for 2 games, you have Tyler Lockett and Christian Kirk. You can get by with that. If Tyler Lockett gets hurt for 2 games, you can get by with DK and Christian Kirk. You are fine if that happens. If you don't go 4 wide receivers deep, you are screwed. So I'd feel comfortable there. Then at left tackle, I would love if we got Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead is my second favorite target and player that I want the most on this team during free agency. He can replace Dwayne Brown, and Teron Armstead is one of the best left tackles in the NFL. He has injury issues where he's going to miss 2 or 3 games, but for one of the best left tackles in the NFL, yes please. Dwayne Brown kind of fell off a cliff this year, didn't do as good as he usually does. I don't want Dwayne Brown on the team anymore. He's old. He's going to be retiring in like a year and a half. He's done. Then left tackle, that if we don't get Teron Armstead, I'd like Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher's 2 years removed from that Achilles tear 2 years ago in the AFC Championship when they lost to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl that year. And he's healed up. He did solid for the Colts. He was a former number 1 overall pick. He's been slightly above league average his entire career. Nice consolation prize if you don't get him. Center, I would love Jason Kelsey. He's my number 1 ad in free agency this year. He is one of the best move centers in the NFL, and like Brandon, I think it's Brandon. Yeah. We just call him Brando on the channel. The Hawks Nest, that's his YouTube channel. He's a great channel. Look him up. Subscribe. His content's awesome. I get a lot of my information from him, stuff that I didn't even know, and he just says it randomly. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, but thank you. So his channel, awesome, go check it out. But this could get him to the NFL one day. Jason Kelsey's movability is absolutely insane. It works perfect with this Rams scheme that we have implemented into our offense. And movability in that offense is massive. If you're running to the left, you bring guys from the right side and Jason Kelsey to the left. You have extra blockers, making it a 7-on-3, a 7-on-4, rather than a 3-on-4 or a 3-on-3, 4-on-4. And you can get those extra blockers to secure long runs. That's why Todd Gurley had those amazing seasons with the Rams when he did before he got his, not tendonitis, but arthritis. So I think that we could do good at right tackle if you do pick someone up. I sound like I said something else. But if you do pick someone up, I would love Trent Brown. He was drafted by the 49ers, then he went to the Patriots, then he went to the Raiders, and he got traded back to the Patriots. He would be a great player for us to add at right tackle. But if you can't, because you can't sign everybody to big money, you go a little budget, you re-sign Brandon Shell. You have, what's his name? Jake Kerham that started for us a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago almost. Wow, it's been a long time. Against the Packers in that divisional round game when they lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship. Kerham played really good in that game, and he played really good against the teams that we played in the last 4 games this season. So I'm excited to see him have a nice little match, have competitiveness at that right tackle position. That's what this team was built on in the early days. Get back to that competitiveness. No one's earned their spot until the season has started. That's when you earn your spot. You weren't just paid your contract and you have your spot guaranteed, unless you're Russell Wilson or DK Metcalf. But yeah, tight ends. Gerald Everett, I'd like to re-sign him. If we don't get him, Zach Ertz, he had a nice resurgence with the Cardinals. Bring him on over. He could be a nice player for us. Mike Gesicki, he'd also be a nice player that could get you some yards, 8-9 yards on catches. He'd be nice there. I'm not bringing back Will Dissly. He had his 2 good years, but then 2 games in, both times he messed his knees up. So his career's kind of over. Kobe Parkinson, we still got him. Sprinkle him in here and there, and you have a nice team. So yeah, if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll have a link in my description. Tell me your ideas and thoughts on who you want to target this free agency and who you like the most. But other than that, if you did enjoy, not if you did enjoy. Overall, just have a good rest of your day.